You're losing some guys to the portal. What are you looking forward to reestablish? What position groups are you hunting in the transfer portal?
What are we losing? I got time today. A lot of people are fighting for backups.
Y'all should expect more players to go in the portal. Last December, Deion Sanders tweeted this out to recruits. I pray you know the difference of being offered a bag and being offered a blessing. Deion Sanders is no stranger to the wild, wild west of the transfer portal. He was marred and really kind of aligned and associated with the transfer portal early on in his coaching career. And now we're after reporting some major wins from before the transfer portal even opened. Now we have to report a few major losses now that the transfer portal is officially open. First off, happy transfer portal day to all those who celebrate. It's about to get very, very wild. Stay locked in. Subscribe if you want to keep updated because we're going to be talking about Deion Sanders. We're going to be talking about all the other craziness in transfer portal, including Deion Sanders losing a recruit from the 2025 recruiting class. Yeah, they not somebody who was here for a year. He lost somebody in this year's recruiting class. So far, we have lost, I think this is the biggest one, edge Taje Mccoy. He's entering the transfer portal, 6'2", 248 edge, total 23 tackles and 4 sacks last season, played in all 13 games. And if you know and watched Colorado games, he was a fixture on that edge. And, you know, some players get praised just from stats and they fill a stat sheet up. He's one of those guys that his presence is felt, right? He does what needs to be there. And I felt like every time he was on the field, he was giving some good value to Colorado. I think that's a tough loss for them. We already talked about Isaiah Augustus, so, you know, we already had that conversation. Actually, is it 4? It's 5. It's 5 because I lost track. You got true freshman wide receiver Adrian Wilson. He was a 4-star recruit out of Texas. Obviously, there's a few 4 stars, 3 stars freshmen. If you know, you know. There's a Quentin Gibson, Quanell that are going crazy already. So maybe he decided to get up out of there. But he hasn't even played a game for Colorado yet. He's just a recruit. Savion Riley, who I believe is a 5th-year guy who initially, just January 4th, 2025, was talking to a fan and had asked him when he was leaving. He said, "No, sir." But things can change. Things change very quickly. So he's officially in the transfer portal as well. And then Ohio State transfer tight end Sam Mart, who just committed last transfer portal, is also back in the portal. We'll go into a little more detail there. About really where I want to start is these few videos. This is 2 throwback videos. This is the first one is when he first got to Colorado. This is him talking to Pat McAfee about, bringing the Louis in, that, controversial situation. So the beginning of the controversy of the transfer portal. And then just a clip. We can go deeper, but just a clip of the infamous interview or media after the mass exodus of 32 players from Colorado. So let's start with the Pat McAfee.
I believe every time you speak publicly, I think you win people over into the transfer portal more for your program. How long, realistically, now where you're at and what you know now, do you think that whole process takes to change a culture and get your people in there?
We already know what we got coming in. Y'all just don't know what we got.
Okay, good. I understand.
We already know what we got on the way here, baby. They probably at the airport right now. We already know what we got coming in. They just don't know. It's no way that I could put new furniture in this beautiful home if we don't clean out the old furniture.
You feel me? You feel me?
And that's not a shot.
I did not expect that. Hey, it's good furniture. Hey, it's good furniture. Never won any awards for any home good stuff.
It's great furniture. A lot of people love it, and a lot of people gonna love it. But that's not what we want. That's not what we desire.
Hey, man. And if you play football, you know what I'm saying, if you were offended by Deion Sanders, which a lot of people were early on, I just think you're trying to find a way to get offended because every other football coach has said things and continues to say things, quote unquote, worse. This is the culture of it, man. It's the meritocracy that we believe to be the world of football. If you're not better than somebody else, dog, I don't know what to tell you. If you're a loser, you lost. Ain't nothing I can tell you. But let's hear him talk about the losses in the portal. This is just last April. This is almost a year exactly.
You're losing some guys to the portal. What are you looking forward to reestablish? What position groups are you hunting in the transfer portal?
I wish you guys do a little more homework when you start talking about the portal and understand what we're losing. What are we losing? I got time today. Where we losing?
Potential starters and
Potential.
depth.
Where?
Tight end, running back.
You haven't been watching practice, huh? Amen. We good. We're good. I trust the recruiting team. I trust our coaches. And please have some faith in me. We good. We all right. We all right. What happens with the portal, man, and you guys need to know, a lot of people are fighting for backups. When a guy's a starter and he transfers, you got to really think about that. I mean, is he really that? I don't know how many starters have really transferred around the country. I think we got some coming in from visits pretty soon, maybe even this weekend. But we can attract those type of players, but I don't think we're losing those type of players. And if we do, we're good. We're good. Quit making a big deal out of nothing.
Hi, Coach Adam.
God, I want to say so much stuff, but I can't.
He was I think it's so funny. This is a side note. Go back and watch those old press conferences like 2023, 2024. There was some hostility and people just didn't like Prime. I think it was just a settling moment. Now he's got his people in there. It's a little more comfortable, XYZ, but there was a lot of hostility between that media room that played out. But we won't go deeper into that. If we have time, we'll go deeper into this throwback story too. But what are we losing? What is Colorado losing? Let's go a little deeper here. Here is Colorado's Arden Walker. He lit up when he was talking about defensive ends, Adrian McPherson and London Merritt. I promise you they'll be ready. So understand that you are losing a major impact player in Taje, but this is what another defensive end believes that y'all are bringing right in. I don't think they're worried about the defensive end. So
what are your first impressions of two of them yombos in your edge room, Alexander and London?
He'll be ready. I promise you, he'll be ready. I mean, I'm not sure giving any bulletin board material, but they coming along for sure. They've been learning fast, which I mean, I appreciate that for sure. I feel like as a freshman, that's something I was preached to, and I think I've been telling them the same thing. So they've been trying to figure it out because they want to play, and I think they're hungry as well. So I really appreciate that they love the game.
That's fire. And you know how Deion Sanders feels about, trying to start a freshman. So I think it's good to see. Just a small little update is interesting to look at. Only 4 players remain from the Colorado 2023 class. I just had a total of 17 commits. So you got Ryan Staub, the main guy, Carter Stoudemire, and Isaiah Harge. I believe that's the first recruiting class for Deion Sanders. So that's interesting. It's there. And there is Arden Walker, the same man we just talked about, kind of reacting to the news of, losing. There's a Marion Miller reacting again to the news of losing a big fixture there. We already talked about Isaiah Augusta. I mean, when you talk about the running back room, that's possibly a backup, so I'm not even mad at that. But just going and echoing off the words that he used to say, Savion Riley, who was actually potentially, if I thought about it, oh no. So when Scott Proctor even did his mock-up drafts, he wasn't really looking at Savion Riley. So these are guys that were on the edge of rotation. You have a guy like Adrian Wilson, who, I mean, we talk about it. We talked about it when Sincere Brown just came. This wide receiver room is loaded. I don't know even what they're going to do for the people they got. They got 6'5", they got Marion Millers, they got Quentin Gibson, they got Quanell, they got they got Hodge, they got Draylon. Like, there is people. Y'all should expect more players to go in the portal. Expect more receivers to go in the portal. And that's something that Deion Sanders would probably tell you and probably has said. It's going to get a little nastier before it clears up. But as that happens, we're going to get the answer to why there are so many transfer portal or why the wide receiver room is so deep. And it's because after this portal is, people going to hop out. And which is so interesting. Again, pro transfer portal, pro NIL. You know me, how I get down, right? But it's crazy to me to see, and I know it's not the first time. Like I said, Dallas Wilson. We talked about Oregon guy, Quay. I forgot his last name. Polynesian gentleman. He's fire. He can sling. I believe 5-star guy who was at Oregon was with them during bowl practice, and then I'm out of there. Hopped in the portal. Said, nah, I don't like. I'm not competing with Dante Moore because it was just fine. Now he's going to Cal. He wants to start. Mr. Colorado, Adrian Wilson. I assume he's going to want to start too. And you see, we watch the well-off media videos. You see Isaiah Harge getting plenty of time. You see him finding a role in the offense. You see Draylon Miller finding a role in a space in the offense. You see Quanell. You see Omar. Like, these guys are finding a space and a place in the offense. I don't think it's just about getting a bunch of well-off media attention. I think it's more so about finding your place in the offense. I feel like all those players, even if you don't see Draylon Miller every single well-off media video, you can see him in the back. Oh, okay, that's 6 doing his thing. Okay, boom, that's all right, boom. Like, there go Omarion. Like, that kind of enfolding into the offense is something that you want to do. He didn't feel like, I guess, he was there. Obviously, we didn't really see a lot of him. It sucks to see, though, because, I mean, where else would you want to be to sit for a year? Former Ohio State tight end transfer Sam Hart, who just committed March 15th, 2024. 2024. Sorry, I'm tripping. I thought it was the same year, but he committed last year. Obviously, Zach Atkins was brought in too, and Pat Schumer was just talking about him today on how good of a job that he was doing. So that's interesting as well. Here's a video of him back August 2024, just talking about being home and being back home in Colorado. It sucks to see them have such a transition in a year, right? You went from, okay, Ohio State's not the place, Colorado's my home. Well, then where do you go now? Do you go Colorado State? Do you go somewhere closer? But let's hear the words from back in the day. This is the pregame show, by the way.
Feel great, man. I love being back home, being with my brothers. Love the coaches, the energy that we have at practice. See, guys like that, man, I love it here. I couldn't be happier. I'm excited for this season. Go Buffs.
And it was actually a pretty good season. I think Buff Buster, or at least a pretty good improvement. Now, I didn't know Sam Hart to get as much play. I think, and this is a side note again, I think Colorado kind of underused tight ends this year. I think they used a great deal in 2023, but that's besides the point. So those are the major losses so far. Obviously, you got an edge player. And somebody who was, a bit of a glue guy, right? You see him out there. I think you have trust if you're a Colorado guy. Isaiah Augustov, who was the leading rusher last year, by all intents and purposes. But that running back room is probably going to look very, very different. And then you got the true freshman wide receiver in a deep wide receiver room. And then, of course, Savion Riley, the DB, in another deep room. And then the tight end, Sam Hart. So it's crazy to see, man. But that is as it is in the transfer portal. Now, one weird thing that we did see is apparently some people were saying that, people on Twitter were saying that Chidozie Nwankwo, I hope I pronounced that wrong. God, y'all know me and these names, man, who transferred. I don't like disrespecting these people's names. Transferred from Houston, re-entered the transfer portal as a grad transfer. This is false. He himself tweeted out that, hey, I'm in the portal. He was at the pro day. So I don't know how this even happened. I don't know what the confusion was. Like, not only is he trying to get into the draft and declare for the draft, but again, he's in the portal. So that's what's going on there. And of course, I'm going to keep y'all updated, and we can read this article as well to talk about the impact there. But before I do that, there's a reason why I showed y'all this video, and it's because I am keeping notes. And we can talk about the Nico situation. There are some updates there, plenty of them. What's it called? And Jaden Ott is already at Oklahoma. But anyway, I want to talk about this because I just remember that interview. Remember the hostility. Yeah, and I'll bring it up eventually when we get into the real offseason. Transfer portal is over. We ain't got nothing to do. I'm going to pull these receipts. I'm going to pull all of them. 30 players have entered the transfer portal from West Virginia. West Virginia football. Pat McAfee's guys up there, I believe. Is that Rich Rod? Now, what I want to say is there a problem? Are people gonna act like they treated Colorado at just a year ago? Just a year ago, I believe Colorado lost in total 32 transfers, if I'm not mistaken, in that spring port in total. West Virginia had over 30 players enter this morning. It's day one. It is 1 o'clock as I record this. There could be more. That's crazy. So just put the pin in it. This is strictly for notes. This is strictly for when he isn't dragged through the mud. Remember who they drugged first. Yeah, I'm a Texas fan. Y'all know that. Y'all know I'm not. But of course I'm a Deion Sanders fan because I'm a football fan. So this idea that y'all tried to throw Deion under the bus and pretend like this wasn't the modern world of college football. I'm sorry that Dabo Swinney, in his wonderful jawline, all right, he looks like he's 57 and 23 at the same time. I don't know what's going on down there. in South Carolina. That was an ugly ugly Southern accent. But I don't care what Dabo says. Him and his khakis. I hate the portal. Get with the times, man. It just made me so upset that y'all tried to paint Deion this way. That was one of the main reasons why I made this channel. I got to yap about it. Y'all trying to. I'm like, what are we doing? Why, when the system is broken? And we'll go to Nico. We'll talk about Nico for a second since we're on transfer portal stuff. The system is broken. Okay, let me take advantage of it. Lane Kiffin cries about I think that's what you have to do. I think you have to whine and complain like Lane Kiffin does. And then when you are one of the most prevalent users of said thing, I guess people just don't look. Because that's Lane. And I ain't got no problem with Lane. Get your money, Lane. Hey. Get your recruits, Lane. That boy's a sniper in that transfer portal. That boy do not play. Since the FAU days, that boy hadn't been playing. All right? That boy live in that portal. And I know that collective's nice. They're like Ole Miss was like one of the first players, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the first teams to have sponsored helmets, the real trees. Everybody was like, hey. Come on, dog. Like, I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's a double standard. I ain't gonna get that deep. What I will say is the first person to do it, they gonna be looked at as crazy. Y'all can take it wherever y'all want to take it, but I ain't gonna take it there because it's a foosball channel, all right? But we'll see. Because hey, maybe West Virginia does get dragged. This is still day one. Who knows? Maybe Colorado loses another 30. I don't know. But I think it's just crazy that this is. At this point, I don't think anyone is gonna blink unless West Virginia pushes over to like the 60 number or something nasty like that. I don't think anyone's even gonna blink at that in one morning. So, some more updates here from the transfer portal. Is this live? I believe it is live. Yeah, I believe this is live. I'm gonna double check just by going by the date. Boom. And we're just going to hop in this portal just for a second, see what's going on. Sure, we have some new players. I just want to show you just the notification 9 minutes ago. North Dakota State running back Tramar Brown, cornerback from Penn State. Okay, people are already committing a linebacker Nikai Grant. Look at all these guys. Of course, Jonte Cook. Again, if y'all want us to go deeper on a lot of the stories, because there's plenty of storylines. Jaden Rashada is still out there. Miami loses a wide receiver. You got... Look who it is. Look who it is. Old Lane getting the job done early on. Savion Riley, like we talked about as well. UCF's losing a lot too, but I believe they just had a new coaching change. Georgia, I believe this is their first loss in the spring semester too. And again, 4 hours ago, it was just 25. So look, it's going to keep heating up, and I'll do a separate video strictly about, kind of what's happening in the transfer portal at large. I think we can go deeper on Nico as well, because there's been some Nico updates as well. There is a lot going on. There's a lot cooking. But for Deion Sanders and what's it called in Colorado, they're in an interesting, peculiar situation, but not in a situation that I think is unfixable. So next time we'll hop in and check this out. Maybe even go deeper into the impact of Taje. But for right now, I think Colorado's in a decent spot. You have teams losing 30 in one day. You only down 5, but we'll see. Who does your team need in the transfer portal? You let me know. Who does Colorado need in the transfer portal? I already told y'all, as Texas, I wouldn't mind another wide receiver, and I wouldn't mind some beef down there in the trenches. But y'all have a phenomenal day. Like the video if you like it. Dislike if you like it. Please subscribe. Hit that like button. Do all that fun stuff to be locked in. Transfer portal, NIL, and everything else updates, man. Appreciate you. You know you're great, so keep being great, man. We'll see.